Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Winchester. Here. Stillwell. Miller. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Hollis.
Yes.
I would move to excuse Brad Stillwell.
Motion to excuse Brad Stillwell, support, motion by Karen Winchester to excuse Brad Stillwell, support by Debbie Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Is there support?
I'll support.
Motion by Winchester, support by Miller to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consent agenda. All items listed under consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial, and they do not require discussion by the NOCFA board, and they will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion. If discussion is desired on an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will automatically be moved to the last item of the new business.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay. Motion by Winchester, support by the guy down on the end, Mr. Johnson. All in favor, say aye. Oh, we got are we paying bills in here? Yep, we got a new roll call.
Winchester.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hollis.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. Next, we move on to public comment. Public comment is on agenda items only. Members of the public may address the board once recognized by the chair. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Prior to addressing the board, members of the public will state their name and address for the record. A second public comment is available prior to the adjournment of the meeting for all other comments. Thank you for your cooperation. Going once, twice. Okay, we don't have a presentation. We'll move on to unfinished business. Fire and emergency services consolidation. Chief?
Well, we pushed this off from last meeting after some discussion to this meeting, hoping to have further with a full board. So
I'd like the table like that.
Yeah.
postpone, yeah.
That worked
Right up until it didn't.
yeah.
Right.
Yes, sir. Just like any good battle plan, it never survives first contact.
Okay. We will put no action. We'll move on to we don't have any new business.
Correct.
So we'll move right on to the report, including the monthly incident data for August 2025.
All right. Good evening. So last meeting, we discussed the HVAC system for Station 3, and the board asked that I seek 2 other bids, which Captain Dunbar took care of. I have those bids. Professional did the job at 14.8, and we had a bid from Goyette at 24.3, and a bid from Blessing at 19,000. So Blessing Heating and Cooling. Yeah.
Heating and cooling.
Yeah. So I just wanted to follow up with that because the board approved the action up to 16,000 with proof. So we did follow up and do our homework there. As far as run counts go, and for the public, I put these on the back table also, so you guys could have a copy of those. Kind of an average month for August. Nothing really jumps out as far as highs or lows. I-75 continues to be something that plagues us with the construction and the reduction in travel lanes. So looking at the numbers, 14 calls on 75, and then just like every month, 50-50 between Holly and Rose Township. So, nothing's really changed there. What I did want to talk about while we're on run data, I handed this sheet out earlier. And I guess this is the Spanish flag colors. But this is a short summary of last weekend. It was incredibly busy. The color bands on the chart represent the shift in the 24-hour day. So Friday's shift, you can see they ran 6 calls, one of those being on I-75. Saturday's shift, which is the mustard color, they ran 13 calls, and there was 4 of those on I-75. And then Sunday's shift in red, they ran 2 calls on 75. So, just in the whole weekend, there was 22 calls. And of that, you'll notice over to the right, we provided mutual aid to Springfield, Groveland, and Holly Village in all of that as well. And you'll also notice the last column, we received no mutual aid. So the men and women on the department, those on duty, those off duty, they were running like crazy all weekend long. So we had folks coming in from home. We had 3 ambulances staffed at once. And I just can't say thank you enough to the crews that are doing this work. I was out for the weekend looking at my phone and just finally had enough. It was like, oh my goodness. So definitely a very busy weekend. And then when you get a minute, look at the times of call, which is the second column in, and you'll see.
That's what I was looking at. And
Yeah.
some of they're right on top of each other.
Yes. 11:06, 11:12, 12:11, 1:32, right? 2:09. They were just bang, 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 right on top of each other. And then, you get the 1 o'clock in the morning calls on top of that. So just something to, throw out there for you guys to see what the activity looks like on the department. Is this a typical weekend? No, but it's becoming more typical. We seem to
say it can't be typical because it wouldn't match the numbers on typical.
Correct. But it is when we look at September's run volume, you'll notice that it is going to be obviously elevated. But last weekend, we were running mutual aid calls out of our area. The Renfest keeps everybody busy. Multiple calls into there and other departments are having staffing.
Is that where some of these calls are at Renfest?
Yes. So when you look at the location, Dixie Highway MRF, there was only 1 call there that we transported out. But last weekend, we were at the RV park and a couple other places. So it just, that puts a tax on one department, and then they still get runs, whether the Renfest is going on or not. If they can't staff enough vehicles, then somebody has to handle the overflow, which is what we do. Okay. So any questions about those 2 things? All right. So for my 90-minute Chiefs report.
I'm gonna be right back.
Me too.
Is this for public info?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can go anywhere. You bet. And I have some extra copies here if anybody'd like those. Tim, do you have anything you want to add about the weekend since you were the fella taking care of most of it?
Felt like I was back in Renfrew.
It's kind of what I thought.
What was that?
So it felt like I was back in Renfrew where we do 20 calls that day.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I just think staffing shortages, Groveland was short staffed, Springfield was short staffed. And it just goes to show that our department has excelled for quite some time in handling our business. And not only handling our business, but being able to handle other departments' business and handling our business.
Right.
And that was one of those days. So people coming in from home, staffing the 3rd ambulance. We weren't short. We had, our 3rd ambulance was running out to other jurisdictions. It just, we're very good at, like Chief said, our men and women that are willing to come from home on their days off and handle business. Second to none.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing for sure. Thank you. Just to breeze through this, you received my written report. Rather than dwell on everything, I will keep it at a high level because I've been criticized by talking too much. So if you hadn't
Welcome to the crowd.
I know,
You talk in your sleep?
I snore. So if you haven't heard, there's four-way stop signs that are going in, and they're in Rose Township. Yes, sir.
I experienced one today
Rose Township.
coming off of Dixie Highway on East Valley Road.
Okay.
And scared the shit out of me because I didn't see it till like hit the brake type thing.
Yeah. So
It's right there coming off the expressway. And I was
Gotcha.
like, oh, that's you, son.
yes.
It was a semi, and it was over here. He had decided it was his turn,
Mhm.
because of course I'm supposed to stop.
No, it's the four-way stops are popping up. It's almost like somebody's fertilized the ground, watered, and these things are growing. So
Well, and the funny thing is I don't, you're probably aware, they put like speed tape
Yep.
up on the hill by the carpet school,
Let you know.
like test strips.
yes,
It's, let you know it's coming.
Yep.
Well, but at the time I thought, why are they doing test strips here? Didn't register till like at the
Right.
steps. They didn't have a sign in here that said, prepare to stop.
Mhm.
yeah, no, it's received mixed reviews. MDOT has received quite a bit of communication from the public. So apparently coming early October, MDOT has a meeting for the municipalities. Did you guys get the invitations for that?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I've talked to you in the past about regarding that.
Yep.
And it's been kind of an effort of futility with
Yeah.
that.
Apparently it's not now. Seems like they're listening. With,
Oh, at the end of the project.
right. Well, you gotta start saying, yeah,
Isn't it due to be done by November?
that part of it. Yeah.
And it's been 2 years.
Well, then we've got roundabouts
The
coming in.
roundabout's different, but I'm just saying the meetings we've had.
So I was under the impression this was a different meeting than the normal Monday. So I'll forward the email to make sure you guys have it
Yeah,
then.
I don't think.
Okay.
I have it.
I think.
All right. Well, the only reason so not to jump the gun, but to jump the gun, our open house is coming up, which Lieutenant Blasco will talk about. But I sent an invitation to MDOT to see if they wanted to come out and engage with the community on, engage with the community on the projects that are current and coming in this area.
And then take some heat.
And they respectfully declined because they didn't have anybody available on a Saturday. And that's when he said, well, we do have a meeting coming up first or second week of October. If you can be there, that'd be great. And he said it went out to the townships. So I'll double check and make sure you guys have that email to attend those meetings. And then with that, he offered or asked if we would host a meeting for community engagement during the week, to which I said, yes, I will reach out to our partnering municipalities and come up with an agreeable date between, everybody's meetings, and we can host it here, or if it seems like it's going to be well attended, we could probably check with the school or another large building. So that's that. Our overtime budget, we're destroying it. We're at 39,000 and change right now. We had budgeted 25, but again, going into the changes, we knew we were just making a guess. We knew we were under, so that's where we rest on that. With that, we only had 1% open shifts last month. So, right, that's a reflection. Okay. Mutual aid responses were 14, so that's 12% of our runs for last month. The Village of Holly remains to be consistent. Groveland was the high mark last month with 7 requests from us.
And that has to be 75.
No, those are not mutual aid runs on 75. I don't count them as mutual aid runs. Number one, it's in Holly Township, most of it. Number two, it's a mutual agreement between us to co-respond. Just like when we go down south of East Holly Road, we have an agreement with Springfield that we will back them up on the call. So it's an expectation more than we're understaffed and we need to have somebody come in and help. So I do not count those or consider those as mutual aid. Okay, so we're understaffed, or we had 3 runs in a row, we can't handle the next run, so in we come. Okay, Run volume, as of the 18th, we were 1,074 runs to date. That was before the weekend. We cleared well over 1,100 runs now. It was 1,101 as of Sunday night. So we're cranking right along. I think now with that weekend, we're probably going to exceed 1,500 calls unless we see a huge drop. Significant response highlight. This was something that was nothing, which was fortunate. We received a call for a small single engine aircraft that crashed. Yep, in Rose Township. And that activated quite a response, as you can imagine.
It was for nothing, but it
Correct.
still moved a lot of mankind.
Yeah. Yes, we received the call. We scrambled our folks together. Got ambulances and engines and people responding down to the area. In the meantime, I stayed here at the station so I wouldn't be in their way because those guys work good, right? And I can stay here. I got on the phone with ATC, so air traffic control. I talked to multiple towers. Hey, this is Chief Weil at North Oakland. How you doing? Pretty good. You guys missing a plane? No, no planes missing here. All right. So checking around. And then we got the sheriff's department involved. They have drone pilots on the road every day. We had a couple of them come out, and then Air One, which is the helicopter, that scrambled as well to do a grid search of the area. While sitting in my office, I click on a link and I can see one drone, the second drone, and the camera off the helicopter. And then on another application, I can watch the helicopter's flight pattern as they're grid searching everything that goes on. So it was quite a response that was handled without a hitch, I thought. Listening from my office and then getting reports back from our boots on the ground. Nothing could have went better. So to me, what that does is it highlights a couple of things that haven't happened in the past. One is the interagency coordination. Typically, when we would get the sheriff's office involved in something, they did their thing and we did our thing. With this particular response, we told them what radio talk group we were on. They moved right over to it. They were talking with us direct on the radio. And it was absolutely seamless. You would never know that we, number one, don't contract with the sheriff, that we don't work with them every day. And they were just fantastic to have out there and be a part of that. So, thumbs up to everybody involved. Springfield Township was even involved for a moment. They scrambled a truck to do some quick search as well. And at the end of it all, there was probably 3 or 4 square miles that were searched by air, and ultimately nothing except an illegal burn was found. So
What did you say?
nothing other than illegal burn in White Lake. Somebody was burning trash. They saw it from the helicopter. Nope, no plane ever crashed at all. And Lieutenant Blasco we're back and forth on the phone. We've got the FlightAware app up, and we're looking at flight paths of small planes and, looking for descriptions and checking tail numbers and seeing if they've landed or not. And I mean, it was just, just one of those things. So it was a multi-agency cool response.
It was a good run, it was a great outcome.
Absolutely. And that's why I'd like to highlight this again. It's not, death and destruction and flames, but it's something that happened. This is how we responded to it. And it's not an everyday thing and so I went back and searched the FAA database for crashes just out of curiosity. And there's only a small handful of planes that have gone down in this area. A couple of them have been fatal. But it might be 5 or 6 as far back as that database goes into the 60s. So yeah,
Wow.
just interesting.
Well, there was one at the northwest corner of Titchfield Lake.
Mhm.
Swamp back there.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, and that probably came up as Fenton over that way.
Mhm.
So it just depends on the database, how it hits. But like I say, when I looked at it, it went back to the 60s and it was just a very small handful. So we're pretty safe here. And then we had a really interesting training that happened in the area. I'd sent an email out inviting everybody to come out and take a peek. That was on the tower at at Phil's Party Store across the street. And that was a simulated tower steeplejack. Okay, that's the term. Steeplejack was climbing the tower and fell and broke both his legs and his harness. So the county dispatched a crew out there, and the guys went up and did their cool stuff and brought the guy down from the tower this way to a truck that they used as an anchor and slid him down in a basket.
He broke his leg up there.
Yes. Yep. That was the simulation. That was the injury. Yep. Yep. So that was really neat. And then here in the building here, we hosted Spectrum training solutions. And, you know, when you look at the amount of special needs, neurodivergency and autism and, you know, all the other things that hit the spectrum, and we deal with folks like that constantly. We had a gal come in and provide about half a day of training for us. And man, you know, I've raised some special needs children. I have a special needs child myself, and having that here in house was wonderful. It was nice to see that. We have another day scheduled on November 8th. And, you know, we'll finish up the rest of that with the rest of the folks on the department that weren't able to attend the morning session. So it was nice. Nice time. And then lastly, before I go on, we attended the community tailgate. One of the things that we've done and continue to do is be engaged in the community at events and try to have a good visible presence for the department to represent, you know, you, the board. And the tailgate was awesome. You know, walking tacos, the band played.
Where was this held?
At Holly High School. So this was a Friday night football game.
Oh, okay.
Prior to the game, you know, they had bounce houses there for the kids to goof around in. We had our fire extinguisher trainer there. So we had that out so folks could come up and do the thing and train with that, you know, swag to give away, interact with the public, tours of the truck. So we try to do that as much as we can. And, you know, that night we had both crews on duty. I was out there myself, a couple of guys off duty came in, and it was just a very nice representation of NOCFA to the community. And we just keep trying to do more and more of this. And Lieutenant Blaska is going to design a couple of shirts for homecoming so that we can support, right? Still doing that? Okay, making sure. So that we can support the Broncos as they play, and we're there, you know, hopefully helping with the parade and whatever else we need to do. So that concludes my report. Chief Smith, would you, anything to talk about with the Renfest or other goings-ons?
I'll just amplify how busy Saturday was. The Renfest had record number. It's around 28,000 people that day. And it was a hot day, which resulted in a number of transports from that facility that put additional pressure on Groveland, which then puts additional pressure on us. So besides all of the other ones, that was going on, and it was all handled very well.
When we talk about transports out of the Renfest, are these for heat exhaustion, or
There are many different types of things. Many heat exhaustion, there's intoxication. We also have other medical emergencies, people that don't realize the difficulty of walking from the parking lot. They're exhausted when they get there, they're out of shape, and then they walk through the facility with or without having alcohol. Many just can't get back to their cars. They have strokes, heart conditions. You start taking a look at 25,000 people gathered together, that's like multiple municipalities all crammed into one area. So you're going to statistically have medical emergencies.
So it's interesting you bring that up. The one thing that I've noticed when I've been out there is at the end of the day, you get somebody at the party that's just done walking.
Yeah.
There is no way for someone else to go get the car, bring it up close.
That has been taken care of.
Oh, has it?
If they will come to first aid and express their concern, we will talk to their PR people, and they will allow the person, open the gate, allow them to come through, pick up the person.
My second question was, I wondered if maybe they had a golf cart type
We
thing.
have a golf cart, and Groveland runs it, that will transport people from first aid to the main gate. The trouble with that is it has to be available. Many times it's being used for other emergencies. But those accommodations are made. It's not widely advertised because people take advantage of it. They just don't want it back. Plenty of Gatorade, plenty of water we supply. If people come up and just have no money or whatever, we give that out for free. The Red Fest pays for it, just to keep people moving.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Chief Seal?
Going back to the grant. I remember I had informed you that we had paid out our last benefit for length of service last year and that it wouldn't be paid this year. I have done an amendment to the grant. We got a balance of about $145,000 left in the grant. Most of that is due to the fact that a lot of the people that hired on already had their fire 1 and 2 in EMT, so we didn't have to send them to class. And then, of course, in the last month here, we had like 4 applicants that didn't have anything. Well, they can't get them through and certified before the end of the period of performance. So I have put the amendment in. If that gets passed, that'll account for 80,000 of that to pay that, like the service award program at the end of November. Just like anything else you do with the federal government, it's a daunting task, and then they're very busy, so you can never get anybody on the phone. We're coming up to our end of our period of performance, and you're like, something's got to give. I got to do something. Nobody's answering their phone. Nobody's answering emails. So I gave it as long as I could. I talked to the chief. I says, I hate doing this because there's always repercussions. I said, but I got to go to the section chief because I've emailed, I phone called 3 or 4 different times. I got nothing. So of course I go to the section chief and their numbers weren't matching because when I submit an invoice, usually it takes them a month to get back to me on whether or not they'll reimburse the invoice. Well, this time, our program coordinator gets changed like every 3 months. She approved it right away, and in the interim, the amendment was in there, so the numbers didn't match. So I called the section chief, and she's like, "Well, your numbers don't match." So that's because the invoice is restricted. Now you got to resubmit it. The numbers have to match our spreadsheet. I'm like, yeah, I have done tomorrow. So now that I call the section chief, all of a sudden I get another email from the program coordinator who hasn't answered anything. Wants our policies for grants and everything else. I'm like, here we go. Every time you go above a head. So it's still in limbo. I still follow it up every day. I don't think there will be any issue with paying it out again this year. And we'll probably have one of those trainings the chief mentioned that's covered under the grant too. So this is going to be where the grant said this is our last year in November.
Lieutenant Dewey,
Nothing, Commissioner.
Lieutenant Blaska, last but not least.
All right, so we're working on an open house. We haven't put the flyer out yet, 'cause we're still, we had a couple people, we were waiting for them to kind of agree to come, because, as you guys know, with our open houses, I usually, not just for us, but since our community, obviously both townships don't get to see or interact with the other, groups, NSP, Sheriff's Department, maybe some of the other groups in Holly, youth groups and stuff like that. So I try to invite everybody to come in. And it kind of helps with the residents from both townships. So this year, our open house is gonna be on October 11th. And that's from noon to 3. And then with that, so we have MedStar Life Flight will be flying a helicopter in, and that's going to be here at Station 1 as well. But MedStar agreed, weather's pending, they'll be flying in like they normally do, laying in the back here in the back grass. MSP will be here with representative. We'll have the, who is the team from Oakland County?
SSRT,
Yes, SRT team.
Sheriff Search and Rescue.
They'll be here, usually the Holly Area Community Coalition is usually here. And then this year, something new that I'm gonna do, we're gonna raffle off, do like a free kids raffle for bikes. So to try to get some more people to come in. So we got, a donation from, Community President Fenton. They donated 2 bikes to like teenager, adult style bikes. And then our firefighters association, we actually did a vote and we allocated $500 from our association to buy the remaining 4 bikes, to raffle off. So my hopes are to do, you know, like the little kid bikes with training wheels up to like a 20-inch bike for a 10-year-old, and then a teenager can get a bike. And we'll just do that free. We'll just have like some kind of a sign up or something, do like a random number generator during the event, get their number from them. If they're not here, we'll call them, they can pick the bikes up. We'll do a hot dog lunch like we've done in the years past. So we'll serve free hot dogs, free lunch to everybody. It'll also be a good time for everyone to sign up for our smoke and CO alarms for that free program that we offer. We'll have our fire extinguisher trainer out again. That's usually a pretty big hit. Holly Auto, the salvage yard on Cox Shell, they're going to donate probably 2 cars for us to cut up. They're usually pretty good about doing that for us. And then other than that, just our normal things that we do to kind of promote ourselves too. So have our trucks out for all the kids to check out. And the families to see some of the stuff we have. And then, other than that, that's about it. Other than that, to add to this, we have a lot, we've been, like Chief hit on it, we've been doing trying to get into a lot of our community events. And not trying, but every year we do community events. It's just getting in and doing more. You know, obviously we're asked to do a lot that we can't accommodate. And a lot of times there's time for us to do things in the village that before we couldn't accommodate, and now we try to help out with we'll go in the village and do a couple of events here and there. But with that, we have Deals Orchard coming up this Saturday. We're going to be out there for a couple hours from noon to 2. So we'll take a fire truck out there. We'll talk. And the cool thing about Deals Orchard is we've done that with them for probably the past at least 10 years. And the weird thing about it is it's usually never anybody that lives in Holly. It's usually always people that live outside of Holly. And so it is kind of nice for them to see us because there's most people, and we go to apple orchards all over the place, big cities, little cities. We've never seen a fire department there, you know. And so the remarks we get from these other communities, they're like, "This is awesome that you guys are here." And so that's this Saturday. We'll also be doing Holly High School. We do the career days at the Holly Middle School and the Holly High School. We do probably 2 a year with both. We'll be doing that again on the 15th of October. So we'll be there. And they're doing an actual post-secondary event. So it'll be military will be there, trades will be there, and all the colleges will be there. So as part of the military and the trades, that's where we kind of fall in. And most times we'll do the fire side of things, and then Holly Village will come in and they'll do the medical side of it. So that way both departments can represent ourselves, and then we both kind of write on the same thing. So other than that, I think Rose Hill, we have a 5K coming up. So we'll be sending an ambulance there to staff at the 5K for them. I think that's actually the same day.
So it is. There's a lot of overlapping events.
Things kind of fell on the 11th pretty hard without me knowing when I scheduled this day. So, but yeah, I mean, there's events that you guys know come up in the town and you guys want us to be present. I mean, shoot me an email, and I mean, everyone here is willing to help. And if I can't make it, or the chief or Chief Seal can't make it, other people step up and help. So it's great for us to be proactive too. I mean, that's something that the chief's been pushing too. We need to be we need to be more proactive with our residents, and they need to see us out there instead of just, you know, seeing driving by the station, seeing the doors closed. So that's one thing that we're really pushing, is getting our duty crews to go out to events, just at least just walk around, say hi, talk to people. Also let them know that the biggest question we get, or probably every one of us will tell you, the first question they ask you is, what fire department are you from? Or where's your fire department from? Or they don't even know what fire department serves. So it's really nice when we're going to these events and people see Rose Township and Holly Township on the side of the truck, and then they ask me, well, I live at this address, what fire department's mine? And we can talk to these residents, and then it's a good time for us to talk to them about some of the other things. So far, it's been really good feedback. So, I think that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you for that. On the agenda, we have the chief's report and we have the firefighters association. But I think you always tend to ask the firefighters association your big report.
That's that color right there.
That's got us.
Yeah, so, the report for the association, I know I can't make all these meetings, and usually one of us from the association tries to report on them. This year, the association, so I mentioned already that we allocated $500 to buy some bikes for our open house. The other thing we did do this year is, one of the firefighters that used to be on the department, Smitty, so we actually paid to have his name put on the Fireman's Memorial Wall up in Ross County. And so, with Barb Green's help, Alec pushing that for us, and showing us the way to do it, we paid for it, and then the chief has to sign off on it. So now his name got put on the wall this year, and then going forward, we're kind of looking back through some of the firefighters that had put a lot of time here that didn't get put on the wall at past, just because of lack of knowledge on our part, not knowing how to go through that process. So we do have another firefighter that I need to speak with the chief about. That will be probably getting another one put on the wall here soon. So
You mentioned the cost. What's this cost?
it's $110.
Something like
It's
that.
about $110. And basically that's just having a grade on the wall up there. And so they have to have at least, part of that is they have to have at least 10 years of fire service. And for the most part, most departments, if they put, 30 years in Highland, and then they only put 1 in here, most times Highland can cover that, and they're gonna make sure that gets done. So that's something we're gonna try and pay attention to and keep on. I mean, it's the least we can do in honoring people that, spend a lot of time here. And I think Smitty had 34 years here. He was one of the founding members of NOCFA when you guys.
He was, with Rose Township, formerly their fire department. He moved from Highland and was one of the founding members.
Yeah. So, wanted to make sure we honor him. So, from the association, I think that's all. Yeah, that's all my report.
Okay, thank you. You guys have you got a banquet coming up, or is that in the spring?
We're gonna discuss that, this year, because of the transition, the chief being new, our board basically is brand new again. I mean, I've been on the board for a long time, and I kind of just came back on again, so we're tidying up all of our stuff. We're actually redoing our bylaws, and trying to, through the years with people changing, the way the board changes is someone comes in and they have their ideas of how they want to change things, so then they try to change a bunch of things, but then they realize that it's a lot more work than just, you gotta have these meetings and you gotta talk to people and you gotta motivate people to want to do things as well. And it's hard, and so, with the union as well, we've been talking to, Captain Dunbar and a lot of the full-time guys and trying to partner more, between the union and the association, because we both have our own funds. And so, that's something we're working on, and it seems like it's gonna work out pretty well by doing some fundraising. I know the association, we just did that partnership golf outing. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it, but Springfield and NOCFA has a golf outing every year. And this year the funds went to the Great Lakes Bird Camp and Ride for Autism, I think was the other. So I didn't bring it up, so I don't have a final number yet how much they raised, but that is one thing we do. So I know the union wants to start doing some more fundraising for different things. So I think we're gonna work with them and try to have some partnerships. But yeah, so we did just redo the bylaws. We're working on finalizing that. And then we just had a meeting and the discussion was going to be hopefully maybe February, March, do something when everyone's so busy, and hoping that maybe holidays are over. We get into February, March, it's kind of right when it starts before it gets nice out. And then plan the weekend out at least 3 months ahead of time so that people aren't scrambling, because I mean, the last one we had, it kind of got popped up last minute and there was only maybe a few of us there. So it's a lot of money and a lot of work to put on a party, a banquet for 10 people. So if we really want to try and make it a good one, give the chief time to I mean, I know he's got a lot of awards to hand out and service awards and stuff like that. Here's a service award, so. Yeah, it'll be coming up.
Okay,
Mr.
that was a drum roll.
Yeah. it was-
That was your time done.
Bong. Okay, thank you. Next on Howard Township, I don't think, I will say this, many of you know I was on vacation last week. I was up in New Mexico. I happened to have an opportunity for the first time since I've been township supervisor to watch a board meeting that I wasn't in. And with our new equipment over there. And if you haven't had a chance to look at those meetings, it's pretty nice. The microphones are voice activated and the camera changes. So if somebody on this side is talking, the camera's here. If somebody over there is talking, the camera moves over there. And when the gentleman that was making the presentation had something up on the screen, it would focus on the screen and you can actually see that from there. So I don't care if you're already doing it. The township hasn't been doing that with the new equipment. Those were some of the nice things.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And it does make things. So,
He does a nice job,
yeah,
for sure.
so, and kudos to you that you're already there. I was trying to.
We're not as good.
Township report.
Yeah, we're not as
You had
good.
yours.
We're not as good as the township.
Okay. Rose Township,
We had a board meeting on the 10th. We discussed about the four-way stop signs. They were installed today, yesterday, today at Davisburg Road and Milford Road. The Mill Pond issue, we have 73 residents that are affected by that. So the residents want some of the speed limits reduced around the curves. So we have to deal with that. Our last NOCFA was on the 13th. It was a very successful year for NOCFA. Do you do NOCFA? We do. And then Eagle is going to install in Oakland County Park, Rose Oaks. They're going to install a night sky vision platform. So that'll be kind of cool.
That'd be neat.
We have that coming.
when you talk about reducing speed limit, are you talking on North?
On Milford Road, they want it reduced on the curves around like the fire hall.
From 35 to even less than that.
They want it less than that. Well, because people are driving like 55.
We go up to that.
I know, that,
Yeah,
I just thought I'd mention it because it was brought up by a resident.
Yeah.
Last week also, on the 10th, Dan, myself, and Matt attended the
Emerging issues in EMS.
emerging issues at EMS in Frankenmuth. We had about 165, 170 people were there from all over the state. And it was all basically, with 6 speakers. We had 6 different speakers. We discussed workforce issues, trying to hire and retain people. I was also talking to Matt about, I wanted a quote on this brick system, which improves response times. He sent me a quote, it was $91,000, but it would help the,
Don't forget the gift that keeps on costing. Right?
yeah.
$6,000 a year to keep it going.
Every year, yeah, Matt.
As a service fee.
Yeah, it's part of their fee. We talked about the Michigan prevention, there's 700 departments signed on to that with the smoke alarms. It also gave some good statistics in 25, 31% had working smoke alarms, 75 deaths, 65 fatal fires, 53% were male, 47% were female, and 60% were 40 to 79 years old of male, and 61% over 60 years old were female, and 20% were disabled people. And Michigan has, per capita, has the lowest fire staffing in the Midwest. And part of the problem is rising costs of vehicles and equipment. Do you have anything to answer?
Well, I was asking the citizen at large.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I stepped on your toes, I'm sorry.
Doesn't bother me. Let me give a formal introduction to Mr. Dan Johnson, our citizen at large, and ask you if you have anything you would like to report to the board.
Yes, just on top of what Debbie was saying, the emergency issues in EMS, it was pretty eye-opening. I mean, Matt has given us figures, you know, what the wages are and what equipment costs, wait time. They did a pre-COVID versus post-COVID. And when you see that just the time to build a ambulance or a fire engine has doubled since COVID. The costs have almost tripled since COVID. So they had a lot of good recommendations, and I've talked to Matt about a couple of things. I'm working on them, but I think the information that they gave us can help out with that. So.
It was a great seminar.
And lunch was fantastic.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
We love lunch.
It was good.
Yeah, it was great. It's the whole entire state was there from all over, and basically everyone is having the same issues. Everything is costing so much. We don't have enough people. We can't keep the people. The fire trucks are expensive, like you said, tripled in cost. All of your equipment has tripled in cost, and it's money. Back bottom line is money. It's the big issue. Lack of money. So
It always comes down to that.
it does, unfortunately. And I asked man, I said, can we apply for a grant for this brick system?
All right, we will move on to our last public comment. About everybody in the room has spoke,
Randy?
except Randy's the only one left. Okay. George, what about your cleanup? I'm sorry, your cleanup day? I'm not sure if you have that.
October 4th?
Yeah, October 4th, we had, I'm sorry, we have the cleanup day, well, 2 nights now, we have the cleanup day on October 4th. And we have the trailers for tires that we hear through the end of the year. And we've already taken 2 trailer loads out.
Nice.
And that's in conjunction, we're working with both Rose Township and Groveland this year. But October 4th, we'll have another cleanup, and then we're taking tires. All I do is call the office and make arrangements, and we can meet them over there and so forth. So
We don't have to take them off the rims.
they have to be off the rims, and this is the fall cleanup, so there will not be paper shred. We only do the shredding in the spring cleanup. We don't have enough to make it worthwhile, and it seems like most people during the winter go through papers in the house, and then in the spring is when they have all those documents from the IRS or whatever they are, that they're ready to shred. So we do the shredding. I always try to remind people that we always do the shredding in the spring, not the fall. Okay? That being said, then, I guess we will look at
7:20.
7:20 and adjourn the meeting.